Hey, Robbie. Um, I've thought a lot about belief, believe it or not. Um, sorry, one of my little jokes. God, I love this sort of thing. Um, but anyway, um, to me, belief is the echo of thought. It's like the echo of faith and thought. Well, maybe not of faith, but it's like belief comes into being. It's like the exercise of your thoughts. It's like the process of becoming your thoughts. It's like that effervescent realization that you are beginning to practice what you think. And and I think in order to but it's funny because unconsciously I know in my own life I sort of fell into a belief in Christ and a belief in God, and then my belief in God drove me to search, to seek. And I heard, like, you seek and you shall find, ask and and you shall be given, or you shall receive, knock and the door will be opened. And so it's strange because one day I said a prayer. I think I was probably smoking weed at the time, but I don't know if I really was anymore. I forget. I think I had stopped. But that night I think I was lucid and conscious, or conscientious anyway. And I was in college in a room upstairs, and it was dark out and the moon was out, and I had Radiohead playing and Alanis Morissette playing, and I just got in this like weepy mood, and I suddenly felt this overwhelming urge to pray. It just like came out of nowhere, and I'd been a Catholic all my life, and well, since sixth grade, and I felt this overwhelming need to pray to God, but not to ask for anything, but to offer myself up to Him. And I kept thinking sacrifice, 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 and it was weird. I I um, I had never really questioned my beliefs or really truly practiced believing, like believe in God and just like every day, like praying and praying and praying. I hadn't done that. I had been fornicating and drinking and drugging and studying, writing in school, and just getting like on with my life in a terrible manner, and discovering my homosexual tendencies to be a total bugger. But no, I I found I found ways. That was a bit okay. Not to put any stigmatisms out there, but anyway, um, I um, I prayed to God and I said, I just want to do anything for you, anything that it takes to fix this fucked up world. You can take over my body. You can use me. I think that's really what I want him to do. I want him to take me over and like make me this vessel. Because I always prayed the prayer of Saint Francis, which says, "Make me a channel of your peace," and it goes on to say other things that are not so intensely or intently focused on that aspect of our relationship with God. But I basically said, like, make me a channel of your 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 work, your light, your intelligence. Like, come into me and inspire me to change people's lives, to change the world. I want to fix this fucked up world. I actually said that. And I started to hear God speak back to me. And this is like before I took that drug that like sent me over the edge. But I heard God speak back to me, and people say that's crazy, and a lot of people say, well, you can't do that because you're a college student, and you have to be a spiritualist for many years, and la la la. But I heard God talking to me and being like, be careful what you say here, because you are dedicating yourself to me. And it was a really like phenomenal experience. I was like tearing, and I was laying on the floor breathing, and I was very in touch with like the moment, and it was just very deep and intense. And like Radiohead came on playing Lucky. I don't know if you know the song, but he says, pull me out of the air crash, pull me out of the lake, because I'm your superhero. And it's weird because I always had this fear that I was going to die in an airplane crash, and I don't know what Tom York is all about, but I know that he has a very like keen awareness of what people think, and I think he realizes that a lot of people have a fear of dying in airplane crashes. But anyway, I have a weird obsession with Tom York, so just forgive me. Um, so I started hearing that, and I was like, and it just became a very like surreal moment. And anyway, to make a long story short, 3 weeks later, a girlfriend of mine offered me an ecstasy pill, and it was really large, and I'd never seen one that large before. I'd taken it once before, and it was small. And she had a small one, and I said, take the large. In my thoughts, I said, take the large one, because the large one will kill her. And so I took that one, and I ended up eventually having what people call a psychotic break. But I started to see Jesus, and he kept showing me this man, and every time Jesus said, "I can't, I can't," steel beams were shoved through the man, and he just fell to the ground, and just like steel beam after steel beam got shoved into him, and it was a very powerful message. I also saw Jesus riding a horse, and he said, "One day you can do this with me." So that was kind of cool, because my beliefs had become a visual and auditorial reality. Like Jesus lived in front of me for like a moment, and it was really intense and uh, provocative. And I just wanted to share that with you because I think, I mean, kind of like my own self experience, I guess. But I just wanted to share that with you because I think I learned that believing is just like an afterthought. It's like you want something or you desire something sometimes, and you look for an answer, and that answer you find for some reason you maybe because we believe our dreams are not attainable, so we look to find something outside of ourselves that is also seemingly unattainable, if you will, to bring that to us. It's like if we find something unattainable that has all the power in the world to do and be anything you need, then that gives us. I mean, that's in the case of God. In the case of Buddhism, I mean, it in Buddhism they point to you. They say, it's up to you to be. Oh, I'm gonna do another video and I'm gonna share something with you, but it's I think it's up to you to be conscious of what you create in your life, and that's kind of cool. Buddhism to me is always a little bit more sensible because it puts the responsibility in your hands, and it calls you to believe, if you will, that you can know or that you can understand with just enough focus and enough silence and enough observation. And for me, for a long time, I had trouble um, with that because my head was packed jam full of thoughts. And so now I'm on a medication that clears my head for me, which is kind of unfair. I think I should like be forced to sit in a straitjacket and meditate all day, but um, no, that's terrible. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But yeah, I'm very fortunate now that I have an opportunity to clear my mind and to really sit down and observe outside of myself and get out of that wave of thinking. Not that it was a bad thing. I had incredible experiences, but it was a very lonely, lonely 5 years. I mean, incredibly lonely. Even though I had people talking to me, I had celebrities talking to me, of all people, and they fell in love with me, and I fell in love with them, and it was like, whoa. But that's another story for another time. Um, I think belief is really the afterthought of desire and the echo of thought, which is for a lot of people is desire. That's not really a great explanation, but that's kind of where I'm starting off. So maybe we can find further insight from here. Pieces of 8.